Talk number 1300 8729 11. It's 12 minutes to 10. We've got Steve on the line up at, where is he? Myola. Hello, Steve.
Yeah, how are you?
What are you talking about, Steve?
Okay, well, I'm the president of KUR-Alert, and we're an organisation up here at Kuranda who are trying to raise the issues of this mega development called KUR World on our doorstep. And I don't think your listeners are aware that it's actually a huge development which will cater for about 4,700 new residents in the district and tourists. The population of Kuranda is only 2,500. So KUR World will effectively triple the population of Kuranda over 10 years. And this will place a lot of strain on the community, both the business community, primarily the Kuranda Range Road. In the EIS that's been released, we've identified that there'll be an extra 3,076 vehicle movements a day on Myola Road and over 2,000 vehicle movements a day on the Kuranda Range Road because of this development. It's a really big urban development. It's not an eco-resort at all. The resort is actually in stage 3, proposed for 2030, which we probably know will never happen. However, the subdivisions and the high-rise unit complexes will be built first. So I think you mentioned that in today's paper. You said that there's an article in today's paper about the issue, but you failed to say that these unit complexes are up to 5 stories high in a very regional rural area. And so there's a lot of issues there that just aren't getting out into the mainstream media about the complexity and the enormousness of this development in Kuranda.
Now, you've talked about 2,000 people living in Kuranda. Has anyone done any surveys as to the support or otherwise for the project?
Yes, that's right. So we've done quite a few surveys. We can safely say over 70% of residents and business owners in Kuranda are opposed to KUR World in its current format. In actual fact, this is a duplication of Kuranda. This is a brand new satellite city in Kuranda, which will have its own commercial shopping centre, village. It's a retail centre. It will have a 12-hole golf course. It will have 270 apartments in a hotel, which is 5 stories high. There will be 286 villas with 260 unit complexes and 350 bed student accommodation. This is a mega development on the scale that we've never seen in North Queensland. And in fact, this is one of the biggest projects in Northern Queensland history at about $800 to $850 million. And it only makes page 3 of the Cairns Post. This should be on page 1 of the Cairns Post. It's one of the biggest infrastructure projects North Queensland has ever seen in history.
Now, you use the term, I think, in its current format. Is there a format that would be more acceptable to the 70% who oppose it?
Well, what we're saying is KUR World, as it is unacceptable. What we're saying is that Myola and that area is zoned as rural. We were engaged in a community consultation process for over 2 years with the regional plan, both the Mareeba plan and the Far North Queensland regional plan. And we've identified, and government agencies and the state government agencies have identified Myola as being a rural area. We'd like to see Myola remain as a rural area, and that's what town planners are employed to do. People go to university to be trained to be town planners. And the town planners at Mareeba, Cairns, Regional Council, all these town planners, they're highly skilled in how to manage sustainable growth of communities. And they've identified Myola as a regional area, as a rural area, and that's how we'd like to see it. So any construction that occurs in Myola should be done with a rural context, in a rural setting, and enhance the rural aspirations of the community in Myola. So what we're saying is this is a really big urban footprint in Myola, which sits outside of all the planning schemes, and we think it's unacceptable. And we think it's actually an insult to the Kuranda community, who have engaged with the state authorities and local Mareeba Shire Council for the last 2-3 years to keep Myola as a rural area.
All right, Stephen, I appreciate your call today. He's up at Myola. We're at the time now on 7 to 10 news coming.